Hello everyone, so the Ahsoka book has been out for over a week now and you might be wondering if it's worth picking up. If you're a fan of the Ahsoka character, I would say this is a book you will enjoy. I didn't find it to be as impactful as say Lords of the Sith or Bloodline, but it has its moments. To me, this book is really meant to fill the gaps in when we last see Ahsoka in Clone Wars to when she first shows up in Rebels. We follow Ahsoka as she travels across the galaxy doing her best not to attract the attention of the Empire, along the way helping those in need as she once did as a member of the Jedi Order. While on several worlds we learn how quickly the Empire is able to occupy and enforce its will on a planet, as well as the mechanisms they put in place to prevent the inhabitants from organizing a revolt. We also dive deeper into Ahsoka's feelings on her time with the Jedi and her reasons for leaving the Order. Like all the Star Wars novels, I listened to this on Audible and it was kind of a no-brainer to have Ashley Eckstein narrate this book. Now I will say that Ashley does a fantastic job of voicing the character of Ahsoka in Clone Wars and in Rebels, but her narration of this novel wasn't the best. I had trouble distinguishing what character she was voicing, and at times she failed to really draw me into the story. Sadly, not everybody can narrate a Star Wars book like Mark Thompson can. What I've learned from listening to these canon books is that along with telling its own contained story, each novel answers small questions about the Star Wars universe. Like the others, the Ahsoka novel has some interesting details about the character and canon. This part of the video is going to contain some spoilers, so if you haven't read the book yet, you might want to skip ahead until you don't see the spoiler warning on the screen. Since Ahsoka appears in Rebels, we know she wasn't among the many Jedi that were killed in Episode 3. However, she was in the presence of clone troopers in the wake of Order 66. With the help of Rex, she and the clone survived the Jedi Purge by faking each other's deaths. They are pursuing Maul in the siege of Mandalore, and the former Sith Lord escapes when Ahsoka spares him to save Rex. After the events of Order 66, she buries her lightsabers with the false body of Rex and the two part ways. The book also explains the origins of Ahsoka's white-bladed lightsabers. Throughout the story, she collects the parts she needs, but she isn't able to complete it until she comes across an Inquisitor known as the Sixth Brother. She defeats him without a saber of her own, which is pretty badass, and she takes the parts she needs from his double-bladed lightsaber, including the all-important Kyber crystals. One important thing that the book clarifies is that Kyber crystals have the appearance of ice, and their true nature is only revealed to the Force user that it's meant for, which gives more explanation to why Jedi and other Force users appear to be the only beings in the galaxy that wield lightsabers. Not only is it nearly impossible to construct one without the use of the Force, but to find the key component is something that only a Force sensitive can do. Even then, that particular crystal would have to be meant for that particular person. We also learned the source of the red-bladed lightsaber. Darkside users would take stolen Jedi crystals and fill them with the dark side of the Force, turning them red. This is known as bleeding the crystal. The reason Ahsoka's blades are white is because she removed the dark side of the Force from the crystals she got from the Sixth Brother. The white color of her blades symbolizes her place in the Force, not totally in the light side or the dark, but in the middle.
Revenge is not the Jedi way.
I am no Jedi.
I also like how the Force is described in this book. One that sticks out to me involves the Force-sensitive child named Hadala Fardi. Before the Sixth Brother starts looking for Ahsoka, he first goes to Thebeska after receiving a report of a Force-sensitive on the planet, but he leaves after failing to find the source. Hadala later tells Ahsoka that she felt the presence of a shadow while Ahsoka was away. I can't remember the exact quote, but Hadala describes it like the sun hitting her face, but cold and dark, something to that effect. I just like these small little descriptions of what the Force feels like to those that are connected with it. There's also a quick interlude with Obi-Wan Kenobi on Tatooine. He's been on the desert planet for a year and most of his time is spent meditating, reaching out to the afterlife with the Force, attempting to communicate with Qui-Gon Jinn. The book implies that he's failed several times at this, but he succeeds for a brief moment at the end of the interlude. This is something I hope we get to see more of down the road and possibly in the rumored Kenobi standalone film. Finally, we get a glimpse of the early workings of Bail Organa with the Rebel Alliance and how he recruited Ahsoka to the rebellion. She catches the attention of Bail as she helps people around the galaxy and he eventually tracks her down. After he helps get her friends off of the Imperial-occupied moon of Raeda, Ahsoka decides to join the rebellion under the code name Fulcrum. So in the end, I think this book will bode well for Ahsoka fans, but I found it to be a little underwhelming. I would have liked to see more stuff with Order 66, or her reconnecting with the Force as well as helping other Force sensitives. But if you read or listened to this book on Audible, I'd like to know your thoughts. What stood out to you and where do you think they're taking the character of Ahsoka? Go ahead and tell me your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. As always, thank you for watching and may the Force be with you.